Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
Brought to you by HobbyLink Japan. This is episode 192 and we're back.
192, Sid.
That's right, yeah. Alright.
Well, yeah.
As you can see, we now have the PG Banshee Norn and the Unicorn Gundam back in stock.
In stock.
And
some LEDs.
And the LEDs. So those people who, I'll put mine over here next to my Banshee Norn. Those people who haven't picked one up yet, now's your chance.
Yeah.
Bandai got it out by Christmas. I thought that was really good of them.
And you guys have probably seen Sid's beautiful
Yes,
version.
I've now got the stickers on it, and
whoa, it actually, wow.
Yeah, I like it. I like it maybe more than Unicorn now. They're both pretty awesome. So we'll talk about this maybe in a bit here. When we talk about the Gundam side of the show, but it is now Monday morning, Ryan.
Yeah.
And on Friday we went somewhere.
Oh yes, we went to watch a movie that had a lot of hype.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed.
I was also not disappointed. quite the opposite, actually. I was very, very happy walking out of the theater.
I was happy and sad. We'll try not to do major spoilers,
no spoilers
here, but
no promises.
I would recommend if you haven't seen the films just to turn this off until you've seen it.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil your how do you say it? Anticipation for it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
The smartest thing I did was I just turned off the internet.
Yeah.
Until I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Because there are some major things that go on in that film, and actually one guy, Brian, was spoiled before.
Yeah. He knew something going into the theater.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, like that changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine watching some of that, knowing we're expecting it to happen.
Yeah. And now we've been very vague, but what he read was very specific. Yeah. But it didn't suck, so I was super happy. I'll say my piece.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, and a lot of people have said this. They played it very safe, like real fan service. A lot of similar beats to the original movies. But it was Star Wars. My only thing is I felt like with the original Star Wars movie, like there were these incredible long shots and this kind of peace at times in the film. And I think the director, what's his name?
J.J.
Abrams. Like he has this very modern style, which is very quick cuts and a lot of stuff. Like a lot happened in a very 2-hour space of time. I was never bored. And actually, I liked the characters. It wasn't like the bloody prequels where you just were like scratching your head. Never once in the film did I go, oh God. Like, not once did I have a bad feeling, which I think is like already like top marks. I was kind of hoping for something as groundbreaking as Star Wars, the originals, but I know that's never going to happen. But for what I got, I want to go back. Sid's seen it twice. I feel like you got to watch it twice, but it's so much. Like, you walk out of there, and I was kind of shell-shocked because it was just like, whoa.
Yeah. What did I just see?
Whoa. But I mean, the CG on the Falcon, oh my God, the battle scenes, like, it was a very, very, very beautiful film. Right? It was Star Wars, but I wish they could just like turn down the volume a bit, and you could just enjoy the visuals more. Yeah. Like that's all I wish. Like it doesn't have to be like Transformers, where it is blowing up all the time. You can beat that. Like just give me like a very peaceful film which has action at times, but just not bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, but that comes in the next time.
I mean, I'm just one man, and they made more money than Jesus.
Record-breaking opening weekend.
It beat Jurassic Park, which it's way better than Jurassic World. Yeah. Way better. Yeah. But yeah, it was really, really good. And Sid and I bought the cup, I bought the limited edition book, I had my Star Wars jumper on.
Yeah, I had my Star Wars shirt as well as a jumper. You know, we took a picture in front of the big poster, and people are like laughing at us. Can I have my turn now?
Yeah, okay. You go ahead.
You know, Star Wars has been with me since I've been 6 years old. So like, it's been a part of me, and growing up, it's always been there. And at the time when you're a kid and you're kind of innocent, and you don't have those responsibilities, the amount of enjoyment I could get from Star Wars and energy I could put into it was, more than anything else in my life at the time. And then, you grow up, you become an adult. You kind of distance yourself from Star Wars a little bit, but of course, being an adult, I had a job. I can spend my money getting the old figures and new figures. I'm still trying to keep contact with that young me back in the day. Then the prequels came out, and they weren't so good. for the most part, and it caused an even greater distance.
Yeah.
From me, even from the originals, like because it's all one package now, right? And I was kind of sad that I had lost that connection to Star Wars. But watching Episode 7, like it brings me back to that place I was when I was 9 years old watching Jedi and stuff like that. Like I can enjoy it like innocently again. Like I was talking about this with Ryan. Like 4, 5, and 6, of course, were really young. It's a simple story. It's the story of Luke Skywalker, and it has a pretty happy ending. It's a pretty nice film. But then if you watch, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you realize it's not the story of Luke. It's the story of Anakin, and 90% of it is actually quite sad until he redeems himself at the end. Well, now we can continue on. Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie. All those characters that we loved are continuing on from that, and they have their own crap going on in this new 30 years later universe. But they're still trying to, do what they did back in 4, 5, and 6.
They tie it up nice, but my problem always, and we discussed this at the cinema, was the more films they make, the more it changes the originals.
Yes,
like
of course.
Changes your feeling. And, after the prequels and what they did to Vader, like, by the time, when you watch the originals again, well, Vader was like some like whiny kid, and then
kid who's now
killed him,
more robot than man, and we really understand why.
Like,
he can hardly move.
Just, and that's what I'm always scared of with what Disney's doing, is they probably intend to milk this forever.
Yeah.
I hope they just don't turn it into what I feel Marvel is becoming, just this commodity.
Yeah.
No longer about the feeling of Star Wars, but more just, oh, we got to make our $5 billion we spent on buying this property from Lucas. You know? And I'm worried that likely they got a very good director to do these films, but they're gonna have spin-offs, and eventually they're probably gonna start having with Star Trek 3, the guy who did freaking Fast and the Furious, and that gets me mad. When they start just bringing in directors who probably don't really care about Star Wars, who are just there to make a paycheck. I just hope they don't kill this. I just hope they don't kill Star Wars.
It seems to me that Disney is, at least for 7, 8, 9, are protective enough of that main story that they've gone out and got
for now.
JJ. Yeah, for now they got out and got J.J. Abrams, somebody who really, I felt by watching that movie, really understood Star Wars.
No, he loves Star Wars.
Yeah,
I mean, it really comes through.
You can really see it, and I probably mentioned this before, but the spin-offs and those kind of things don't interest me yet. Because I want to experience what I experienced, back in the 70s and 80s.
I've consumed everything Star Wars. I've watched all the shows, all the TV shows, I've read all the books. I mean, I'm heavily into it. But I always felt like the books and the TV shows and even the games were made by people who really just love Star Wars. It wasn't Lucas seemed to have given up trying to really milk it. But Disney, believe you me, Iron Man 1 was great. 2 and 3 sucked. Avengers 1 was great. Avengers 2 sucked. They seem to get it right the first time, and then they're oh, we got to keep making this now.
Well, yeah, they spend all that money and they lose the licensing if they don't make movies like Spider-Man, right, or something like that.
So, but yes, this film was really good.
Really good.
I really
go and see it.
Go watch it.
Please go and see it, because we're not going to be able to hold back for much longer on these spoiler type things.
Yeah, eventually we'll probably want to pick at it, but I got to watch it another time.
Yeah.
Just to let you go, no, I'm going to be away. I'm going to South Africa for a couple of weeks, so I'll be back in January.
Yep.
Hopefully I would have watched it again, and we can talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll give some people some time. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, really good.
Okay, cool.
Really good.
Let's stop the Star Wars talk for now. Because
yes.
Of course, we don't want to reveal too much.
No.
We want everybody pleased to see it with an open mind and not thinking, oh, Sid said that this part...
Actually, I have a question. I have a question, because, for the younger girls who watch our show, I'd really like to know your opinion, because for us watching it, there was so much fan service in there. I think if you'd never seen Star Wars and you watch that, you'd be like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your opinions. Are you amazed, and do you love Star Wars, or are you just well, it was a good film, but it was like Transformers? Because we have history.
Yeah.
We have history. But anyway.
My entire life. My earliest memory is sitting in the theater watching the Star Destroyer go over my head. Star Wars has been there.
All I could think of, damn, I'm getting old. When you see Harrison and
I know, when you see him on the Falcon with Chewie, and of course Chewie doesn't look any older because he's no costume.
And Leia.
You see Han Solo and you know, he's gray, and you're like, oh, Han Solo, and then you watch him try to run, and you're like, oh, Han Solo.
He's just jogging.
He doesn't move so fast. But it was good. He was still Han Solo.
No,
That's
he
the best
was.
part.
But
that's the best part.
God, you kind of realize
Yeah.
you're getting old.
Everybody's aged quite a bit since 1983.
I think the whole cinema when like Luke, oh man, sorry, when Han shows up, like everyone just was like, damn, I'm old.
We all had that thought. All right, so we're going to move on to the Gundam segment of the show. And I've recruited Todd again.
Yes.
He's going to build
Thank
some
you,
IDO
Todd.
kits. So let's get Todd in here. All right, Todd, I see you've got your stuff built by the deadline. I appreciate it.
Yep, I was able to get them both completed here. I got my Man Rodi.
Man Rodi, you're all excited about?
And I've got this huge long distance transportation booster.
Yeah, that thing's massive now that I see it all assembled. Well, I've got my Gusion.
Oh, the
He's
Gusion.
right here, the Gusion. He's all done. We'll talk about these in a second, but we have two kits that just came in today to talk about, so we'll clear these guys off here.
Okay.
Now, the first one we are going to talk about is the Qubeley.
Qubeley.
Yes. Now, this is a revived kit. It doesn't say revive in the title on HLJ.com, but if you just type in Qubeley, you will find it. And I gotta say, like, the size of the box is much bigger than I anticipated compared to the other revived kits.
Well, the old Qubeley's box also was a bit bigger.
Hefty. Of course, we can attribute that to these giant wings this thing has on. But when we saw the revived boxes for like the gun cannon, the ARC-782, they were very, very narrow and thin, even the Freedom.
Right.
So now I'm excited because this is quite big here. Let's have a look at these parts here. You can see enough of that. You have some pretty sizable pieces. And I know people are going to ask me about the MG Qubeley that I'm kit bashing. Yes, that's always an ongoing project. But there's pink and there's purple. Those colors that the chicks dig. Yeah, so if you build a
Make it
Qubeley,
a good gift for the girlfriend.
you can attract some ladies.
Pick up some girls with Gunpla.
Yeah, throw that back in the box there because we
Sure.
got one more to open up here.
Alright.
Now this next one, it is the Graze. Todd, why don't you open that up?
Okay, let's take a look here at the
take a look down the
Graze.
side.
What do we have in here?
Now this is the 1/100. Remember, it's got frame. Got frame. Got milk. Got
Manual.
Frame. Yeah.
It's got frame. Now, pulling it out of the box here, one thing interesting to note is we have some white parts here.
Yes,
but
I saw the promo images. You can see the promo image right here as well. Basically, it says that these white parts you're supposed to use with your Barbatos. So this isn't Graze, this is Barbatos.
Right, so if you want to have a complete Barbatos, you're going to end up needing to buy the 100 scale Graze as well, I guess.
Okay, I guess that's Bandai's new marketing strategy.
Right.
But
Maybe in the future we'll see like parts of each kit included with different kits. And
maybe that's where they're going with these 1/100s.
You gotta buy them all to complete them.
Maybe. Get like the leg runner from one kit and the arm runner from another kit.
Right, or maybe like those old Transformers, you combine them and make some super robot.
Yeah. Like a Devastator.
Alright, so in here also we've got standard runners for the green parts. We got some armor parts. Got some more armor parts in here.
It's got a big axe right here.
Oh, that is a
That's cool.
pretty giant axe there. The shield, more armor. And some frame parts.
Yeah, of course. Well, these guys have frames, so you get those. So that frame runners, these frame runners. One thing I'm noticing, I find is it's hard. It's difficult to see in here, but the sticker sheet, the foils for the Graze are much less than the Barbatos. I think you're just gonna be doing the eye and stuff like that in there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, not so many markings I think on the Grazes.
Okay, so
color separation.
we got two kits, and we're gonna need to. Oh yeah, put that back in there. Somebody's gonna need it. We're gonna need to have these built very soon for a future episode, I'm hoping. So let's see here. How am I feeling as Christmas time approaches?
Christmas.
Todd, have you been a good boy today? This year? Have you been a good boy this year? I wouldn't know because you just started. Like, you could say yes, but you could have been absolutely horrible. I wouldn't know.
I've been perfectly great.
Okay, good. Well, why don't you build the Graze then? 'Cause I know
Thank
you want
you.
to. I've already built the Barbatos.
Yeah.
Now you get to build the Graze. Bring on the show next time. I'll have the Barbatos as well.
Okay.
We can kind of compare. And I'm going to work on the Qubeley.
The Qubeley.
Yeah, so
Qubeley,
this will be a
Qubeley.
little project for me over the weekend. if I can find some time.
All right.
This is back to me for now because we need the space. So, no, don't worry, you'll get it back. It's coming. You'll find it under your tree. Give me the keys to your house.
Anyway.
I want to talk about the Gusion, but also I'm interested in your Man Rodi. So why don't we go first with the Man Rodi?
All right.
Then I'll do Gusion, and then we can do the big one last. How's that sound?
So here we have the Man Rodi. Now I have to say, this little guy was a fun build. He went together really quickly, and he's got a really unique look about him. It's a look that definitely only a mother could love. No, actually, I don't know. It's an interesting looking kid. It's different than other Gundams. So I gotta say, I kind of do like it.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
Did you build this before you built the long range booster or after you built the long range booster?
I built this before the long range booster. I don't know why, but just something about this kit was screaming to me, build me first. So when I got him, he was the first thing that I took out of the box, and I had him together in really maybe less than an hour, just snapping him together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty fun build. There was really nothing difficult about his build. Everything was pretty easy and straightforward.
Okay.
And let's see, what can I mention about this guy? Alright, so as you all know by now maybe, I have a thing for the feet on my Gundams, and this guy here, he's got some pretty unique looking feet going about him. But as we see in the show, this guy is, well, at least so far, at this point, he's only used in space. So for a space-type mobile suit, it doesn't really matter how well his feet work. And actually, there are some veneers in here. So he can fly around. If you look underneath him, actually, he's got a lot of little boosters around. So he's ready to fly around at high speed. And as we saw in the anime show recently, the Man Rodi is actually like the grunt suit.
Oh, okay.
So there's a couple of Man Rodis, but so far we've only seen one of the Gusions. Now, pardon me for saying it with my French accent. I don't know why I can't say Gusion without sounding fake French. But yeah, so he's a pretty interesting kit. He comes with, as you can see here, he comes with 2 weapons. He's got his standard beam rifle, I guess you could say, and it's a bit more interesting. But he has also this axe that, if you wanted, you could open it up, take out his hand. Or you probably just turn it around. Maybe there you go. You can have it in 2 positions. So before I had it as an axe. But you can also have it as a hammer. So if he needs to go to work and build some houses, he's got his hammer and he's
gonna bludgeon somebody.
He's ready. Yeah, he's ready to smash away. They're interesting weapons, I think.
I'm going to assume that this guy does not have the same kind of frame we're used to seeing in the Barbatos and those kind of.
Right. So
kits.
This Man Rodi doesn't have the same type of inner frame as the other kits. This one is more what you would see in just a standard HG. So no real inner frame going, but I don't know. For this kit, I think it's really okay, because if he was to have an inner frame, there's not much use for it. I think
you wouldn't see it.
You wouldn't see it like you do on the HG Barbatos, and everything is covered up. And as far as articulation goes, I don't know if he would have gained anything by having that extra inner frame.
Oh, in many cases, having a frame actually limits the articulation. So
right. So
looks cool.
Looks cool. So for this guy here, you've got the standard. He's got a nice little ball joint on the leg, so you can kind of twist it around and be able to flex it out. It's pretty good. So
that's not bad.
The leg itself has some pretty good articulation. The knee's pretty standard knee. You can go back only so far and go up so far. So the legs are, I gotta say, they're decent, I guess you could say. And of course the waist motion, there's really not much you can do about waist motion. He's got this big beefy chest. He's been working out, and He's been maybe ignoring his leg days.
He's on the roids.
Just working on that chest. And his arm is he's got some pretty decent articulation. He can rotate all the way out. The shoulder does kind of prevent it from stretching straight out, but probably I can't imagine anyone wanting to pose it that way anyway. The head, because it is buried inside of here kind of, there really isn't a whole lot of articulation for his head here. But that's okay. He's just got his unique look to him, and that's about it for this guy. The only real trick that he does kind of have here is he's got this weapon tray that just slides right out, which is kind of cool. And then if you wanted, you could store his rifle on here. Just like that. Oh, one other thing to mention. It does come with a sticker for, it's not a mono eye. He's got 3 little eyes in there. Looks like a mono eye, but it comes with a sticker sheet, little sticker sheet for that. And it comes with one plain black one if you would like for some reason to have a plain black one. Okay. And another individual eye, so if maybe you wanted to have him looking at an angle, you could put this eye on an angle and he can be looking to the side. If you want to have that, but he only comes with one eye plate, face plate, so whatever you choose, that's what you're going to have to live with. Alright, so that's the Man Rodi.
Nice.
It's interesting.
It's tough for me not to think like steroid. Manroid, steroid.
Man Rodi.
Like the huge, well, of course, the neck muscles, I would call them. And everything
yeah, he's got
calves
that
and thighs.
big calves and that really thick neck. But speaking of big kids, though, I think your
big fat limbs. Anyway,
your Gusion.
I've got the Gusion, and here he is. And I gotta say, the Gusion, however you want to pronounce him. He's very similar, especially in the head. He looks very, very similar in that head design. And whereas I think Man Rodi might look like a frog, I think this guy kind of looks like a snapping turtle a little bit with that little beak there. It's cool. You can see he's very fat, he's very rounded, and where the Man Rodi's shoulders might have been a little smaller, these of course much more circular, much more wider. And I've got his giant hammer that everybody is a fan of. It mounts on the back right here. There's an adapter piece like this. There is also a piece here that will unfold that you can put the weapon on when you need to. And it's down here so that you can put it on and the hammer and not kind of bump into each other. That is very cool. Now, you would expect a kit like this not to be very articulate, and yeah, that's kind of exactly the case. Like, I can move the shoulders up about this far, and the design here with the way they're cut in here, it kind of goes around the body part, but you're only going to get that maximum kind of leverage here. And then you will move up your arm. So you're only kind of getting, how do you say, maybe horizontal up until 90 degrees on that. That's not such a terrible thing. The legs, now, they do kind of splay out a little bit, but you will run into the limit of your articulation plus these side skirts. So they're going to be kind of preventing you from really going anywhere, but he does kind of stand up in that position. And it's interesting to note that the skirt design for this guy is, well, maybe if I show you here, there are a couple pieces in here, and enclosed inside this main skirt frame is just one bar, and that bar is what you're going to plug your legs onto. So there's no poly cap here. Maybe that would sag a little bit too much. So you kind of put this plastic on that plastic, and it doesn't like snap into place with that noise, but you'll know it when you get it on there. And the only real frame you have is in the knees and elbows, similar to other HG kits, but you're not getting a lot of movement there anyway. The feet, he does have that high heel look, which seems to be something we're encountering a lot of in IBO kits, but IBO mobile suits, but a lot of them are hidden in just the big bell bottoms he has. You're not going to see the feet very much. Anyway, I'll pull this off here because I want to show you guys the back. I think it looks great. You know, he does have his thrusters here, and this is all like a frame part underneath that you're applying the armor on over top of. And I don't anticipate this guy will move very quickly being so big with only a couple of thrusters there. But it looks like, you know, he just kind of moves slowly, but when he hits you hard because he does have that big hammer. Now, I've taken it off. I will put it on him right now. But first I gotta show you what I've done here. Because here's the hammer. You can hear it rattling. Well, I'm kind of using this as a storage for the extra pieces that I have, right? So what you can do, you have this one piece. You're meant to kind of put it over top of that place where you put the adapter for the, the adapter for the hammer. I'll put that back in there. I will take out the gun and I will put it on here, like I mentioned before. I think it should just drop in there fairly simply. There it is. And I will then close up my hammer, even if it makes a noise. Actually, I gotta put that hand back in here. So hold on, everybody. Let me drop that back in there. It's nice to have this in storage because now I know I'm not gonna lose anything. Oh, wrong hand. Oh, how embarrassing. My goodness. Again with the left and right hand confusion. You can pop this back armor piece on, but the manual kind of has you take the ball off of the end here. So I will put this on here and I will do like that, and I will put in his hand, his arm, which is already coming out. Don't do that. This is already heavy enough. Wow, that's cool. Look at the whole polycop just came out. This is the first time for me. So that means I have to reassemble. So I'll show you how this assembly works. It's basically just a bunch of sandwich. Doing a bunch of sandwich making here. I'm going to put the polycap in there. Of course it goes on first, but you are then just closing everything up. Two pieces go together. Make sure you put them in firmly. Apparently I did not do that last time. So this piece here I should show you actually. It doesn't matter which side you put it in because it's asymmetrical. But it fills that gap like this, right? And then you'll close it up. But I should make sure I get this on the right side here. I'm not going to follow the manual because I don't think I need to. That's burned me before. So get it on there. Now I can plop it back on here. And we do have a polycap that can move forward, so you can get this thing in front of him, but the weight of the hammer can make it kind of difficult. So make sure I put my gun back on here first so he doesn't trip over it. Now the box art manual kind of shows you having these cool poses with your Gusion and him holding out this hammer. I need to point out that the hammer is quite long, and you'll kind of get him, if you have it out far, he can stay up, but he starts to lean. And I think what the Bandai did in the promo images is they turned it in such a way that the back end of the hammer kind of sat against the armor, and that way he doesn't lean forward as much. And when you kind of tilt him to the side, you can see he's holding that hammer out and he looks nice and sturdy. I do dig this kit. I think it's really cool looking. For markings you just get the eyes there plus the little fork or whatever it is right here on his skirt. And you know, after starting off with the Barbatos, which was quite complex, you're building something a lot simpler, I think, with the Man Rodi and the Gusion. Oh, stickers here as well. But I do dig the look of them. I think they are cool. I think they're unique, and 1/100 of these is going to be pretty cool. All right, there you go. There's Gusion and his giant hammer.
Big hammer.
He's going to jump, flop, and pound you down. Right. It's kind of cool. I don't anticipate he gets very far being a kid this size, but if you get close enough to get whacked, it's gonna hurt. Yeah. So that's it for my IBO stuff today. Now I guess it's time for you, Todd, and your star of the show in this episode, that long-range booster.
The long-range booster.
So do you need some time to get set up?
Yeah, actually, give me a second here to get set up. Okay, so here we have the Gundam Barbatos and Long Distance Transport Booster, Kuton Type 3.
That's a long name.
That's a very long name, and as you can tell, this is also kind of a long kit, to be honest.
Yeah. It's much bigger than I thought it would be.
It is. It's a pretty impressive sight, actually, once it's all assembled, and I gotta say, I really kind of like the look of this thing. Yeah. Now, last year when Reconquista was airing, they had another similar type of kit for that show. That was the assault pack for the G Rico, but
I remember that.
Compared to the assault pack G Rico kit, I have to say I really love the looks of this one a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some nice parts on it that I could see myself using to customize some other stuff later on also. But yeah, so this kit, let's take a look, shall we here. As you can see, it comes molded in multiple colors, and if you can kind of tell, maybe it might be a bit hard to see, there is a Barbatos hidden inside. As we saw in the anime show, this is used to transport this thing around, and it's a pretty fast ship actually. So he's hiding in there. That's
why he's got those huge boosters.
So,
Awesome.
It's interesting.
How long did it take you to build?
I built this over a period of about 2 nights.
Okay, it's not bad.
Not so bad, and that was just for the booster though. It comes with the Barbatos in the kit as well, and I built the Barbatos too. That was another night. So, and as you can tell, unlike the Mark II I did last week, I didn't do any special weathering or go crazy with this kit. Between this and the Man Rodi, I had my hands full over the weekend.
Yeah.
But if you can look here, this kit does have a number of stickers on it used for color separation. On the inside of these angle things here, as I pull them apart, you can see there's some stickers. We got some color separation stickers on the inside there, and also on the outside it kind of has this concave inside, and the stickers, it was a bit tricky to get these ones in here because you're kind of putting them inside of something at a round angle. So
that's kind of like a Star Wars X-Wing. How did you do that too?
That was a little bit of a pain in the butt. Also, we got some stickers here and some more stickers on the back here by the actual booster tanks.
Okay.
But as far as stickers go, that's it. Not really too bad. So this is the ship as it appears as in the transportation mode. Now there are different modes that can be done as well. Now let me pull this kit off so I can show you.
Alright.
So also, just to mention, this kit does come with its own stand, so
thank goodness.
You can display it wherever you want. Alright, so let's take a look. Who wants to see the Barbatos?
Oh, I do.
Let's unwrap him in here, shall we? Alright, so for this transportation mode, these front parts, they clip on to here, so you kind of have to unclip it to move these things out of the way. Now, once he's like that, you can expose him. And be like,
I see you in there. I see you in there.
I'm the Barbatos. Now the Barbatos sits on this kit. There's a little peg that plugs into his stand mount hole, I guess you could call it.
Nice.
On the bottom there. So he does fit snugly on there, and he's not just loose and jangling around when you move this thing about, so he's pretty snug.
Well, that's good.
But let me show you the other mode that they show on the box here. Now, to do this one, you are going to have to take apart pretty much a lot of the kit, to be honest. So let's start here. These guns just will pop out, perhaps, if I can get it here. The guns will have to pop out. You'll have to pop out his claw. Whoa! Not that part. And you have to pop this off, and this, and the cockpit, and the boosters. So
it looks like you got to put the whole thing together again.
You're basically putting the whole thing together again. Now for this mode, it comes with this little peg type adjuster thing
adapter
here.
type.
The adapter, and it plugs into the back of the Barbatos. And then the Barbatos just plugs right on into here. And whoops. There, we got that one. Alright, so now now you take the triangle claws and you can plug them in. He's going to be holding on to here, or at least it looks like he's holding on. He's actually not going to be touching anything, but you gotta bend his arms up so he's grabbing onto some weapons. And you can angle this in here. Do the same for the other side. Take this, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. And goodbye, Mr. Barbatos. Now, let's plug him back in. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is, I don't know if it's just my kit or something, but this these pegs don't really hold the Barbatos in.
Because they're made to like change position so many times or change shape, they don't want to make it too stiff, because if you start cranking on it the wrong way, you're going to break a peg off or break something off your Barbatos. So in some cases they make it loose on purpose. In some cases too loose though.
Whoops. Yeah, also they're made out of that the softer material that they're using now for the frames and those kind of parts. So those softer plastic parts, they're a bit looser in general.
I find that too.
Then the gun will go back on top. And this thing, the stand, now all of these parts, they are not used for this mode. So, see, there goes my Mr. Barbatos again. But once he's on the stand and you're not moving it around, he's fine. He stands pretty stable. And you can plug it in, and he's ready for action.
That does look pretty cool.
It is a pretty cool mode to see here. There you go. All right, so that's his fighting mode here.
Show it from the back.
All right, let's rotate this around.
Nice. I dig it.
Even though when you take off these boosters, you'll notice that there are still extra, what would you call it?
Smaller ones?
Smaller boosters in the back, so he still has a means to thrust around.
That is pretty cool.
There's also some thrusters, I guess that's what I should call it, or veneers. There's some thrusters built into the sides of these claws too. And these thrusters actually can pivot inside and outside, so if you want to display them in a different way, you can, inside, out. So that's it for that mode. Now there's actually also a third mode that you can do with this kit, but the third mode requires the Graze Kai.
Okay.
So they give you the instructions for it. Now, if you had the Graze Kai, you could plug it into this mode. And to be honest, I wish I had the Graze Kai, because this mode, the picture of it on the box, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they give you some extra parts. I have them here still on the sprue. They give you some extra parts, and these parts are used only for plugging in this Graze Kai into this long distance.
This is kind of similar to what they just did with the 1/100 Graze and the Barbatos.
Yeah.
You gotta buy maybe more than one to be able to fully use everything in the box.
Right, but well, I think these parts maybe only are useful with the transportation booster. Alright, so there was a couple other things I wanted to mention about this kit. One of them is kind of cool. Now, speaking of, if you want to have the completed kits, you are going to need to buy this one if you want to have the better sword.
Oh, the white handle?
It comes, this one comes molded in 2 different colors. It comes with the white handle and the brown blade. It also still comes with the original sword that comes with the regular Barbatos kit. So here you can kind of see the difference between his original sword and the upgraded one.
Okay.
So if you are a completist, then you have to buy this kit in order to complete it. It still comes with his
the mace.
The mace.
I missed that on the 1/100. Everybody needs a mace.
Everybody needs a mace. Now, I've seen on the internet some people, the anime show the character that pilots the Barbatos has a dream of someday having his own farm and growing corn. And I've heard some people say that his weapon here is kind of, if you look at it, it looks like a corn on the cob. You've got the ears kind of peeling off at the bottom. It's kind of an interesting thing to
Alright, that's a theory.
think about. It's a theory. Maybe it's correct. Who knows?
A lot of deep meaning in this anime.
It's a fun anime. I've enjoyed watching it so far. It's a pretty good show.
Is that the backpack for the Barbatos?
Right. So this is also the backpack. Of course, he can't wear it when he's in this mode, so I really haven't plugged it in much. And it comes with these 2 clips. So if you want, you can clip on his sword and his mace.
Can you clip on both swords? Do dual sword action?
You probably could. The mace I found doesn't really sit too well in here. But yeah, if you wanted to have some dual sword action going on, there you go.
Nice.
Ready for some
Nitoru
ninja action. Okay, so now let me go ahead and put this away in the box so I can get it safely put away before Sid throws it onto the shelf of giveaways. Okay, so that's it for the booster. It was an interesting, fun kit to build.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. But where did it go?
It's somewhere safe.
Okay. All right. I guess that wraps up our Gunpla section for this episode. This segment's finished, so we got to throw it back to Ryan and me.
Okay.
All right. All right, thanks, Todd. That's a lot of Gundam in a short amount of time.
Yeah, he does good.
You know, he just moved here.
Yeah.
He's what they call, moving poor. He's got to sit at home. He can't go out too much. Although he did come to the movie with us. So, of course, good thing he loves Gundam. There's lots of time.
Well, he is a serious Gundam.
He's a
Gundam
big fan.
Gundam nut.
That's right.
So, do some questions and
yes,
comments? Yeah. Tiger King. Man, I bought tickets a month in advance and still got crappy seats. Wow.
I felt sorry for that guy. But you saw it on opening night, right? That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Even our cinema wasn't, it was full, but not crazy full.
Well, that's because ours was the subtitled version.
Oh,
Everybody wanted to see the dubbed version.
Yeah,
in
the
this
4D
country
version.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan TJW, I would love to win anything, which I doubt I could. Unlike his person alive. Don't say that, mate.
Yeah. I thought I'd put your
I can point at people who are probably unlike you.
The fact that you have the internet and can watch shows like this probably means he didn't win. I guess I can say that right now. But I thought, come on, we'll cheer you up.
Yeah.
Life's not that bad. Star Wars just came out. Come on.
Star Wars came out. Life makes sense again.
Yeah, that's right.
The Eyebolt. I like how your hoodies are cut differently so the pics on the fabric aren't in exactly the same spot. We'll have to win the MK.
Yes.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice either. I'm glad he did because it's like, oh, good. Yeah. Now I don't feel like, I don't know how to put it, but a loser? Wearing the exact same clothes. Of course, we all went to the movie theater in the exact same jacket.
There were some other people with very cool,
retro Star Wars style. Yeah.
Zero G.
Zero G.
Well, I've ordered the Banshee on the LED despite how bad I think I'm at building. Don't worry. I was torn between the Unicorn and the Banshee, went back to go watch the entire series again to gauge how I feel about each one. Well, yeah, you have the content to do it.
There you go. And, I'm glad to hear that you went for it.
Took our advice.
That's right. I mean, you won't regret it. And there's one thing I want to do. I want to congratulate him. Welcome to the club, the Perfect Grade Club.
Welcome to the club.
PG Master Race.
Yeah.
Welcome you aboard. All right. We have like this perfect grade secret handshake. Yeah, that's what we do. All right. So welcome aboard. Okay. Zero G is now part of us, Ryan.
Yeah. Welcome, Zero G.
Okay. So, carrying on. If you remember last episode, Ryan, we were talking about a certain video game.
I really suck at that game. So if anyone's got any tips on how I can not totally suck.
Okay, so we have some tips, Ryan.
What are my tips?
Your tips first one is from Big Zeke. He says, looking forward to getting my Barbatos. P.S. The secret to Battlefront is the Konami code. Do you remember the Konami code?
No.
Do you ever used to play Contra on Nintendo?
No.
You had your controller.
In Africa, we had a knockoff kit.
Up, down, left, right, B, A, start. And when you put in that code before you hit start, you get 30 lives.
The Contra was hard.
Contra, I used to be able to play the whole thing.
You know, we have
life.
a couple of Contra figures, classic Contra.
I know, they're cool. I was you know, they got the guns, like if you get the power up and the guns expand. Oh, I want to play Contra again.
I know,
I don't even need the Konami
It was
code.
too hard.
Okay, David B, he said, at Ryan,
Yeah.
what's your playstyle on your Star Wars game? It might be helpful for advice from other gamers. One important thing, though, is to always use cover to your advantage and not rush forward and go Rambo gung-ho.
Well,
it always kills me in FPS games.
I mean, Battlefront isn't like a normal FPS game where it's more like arcadey.
Yeah.
So, I do get undercover. You kind of have to have these auto lock
Yeah,
things.
you'll take damage if you're not.
But yeah, I get it. My gaming style, I like to run and gun, so I prefer COD. I prefer like close quarters.
Yeah.
But of course, Battlefront, it's harder.
It says huge maps.
Well, it's not as big, but I don't know. Like it's not quite the same. But if you're one of the hero characters, you can get nice and personal.
Yeah.
But sorry.
Okay.
Thanks
well,
for
these
that.
are all tips for Ryan.
Yeah.
Paradigm. He says, people tend to think FPS games are all impulse, but strategy is a vital part. Learn the map, learn the attack and defense patterns, and learn the sniper nests. Being one step ahead mentally beats having better reaction speed. It might be a game, but the art of war by Sun Tzu is applicable. So I might have that book
So
somewhere.
you're a sniper, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. I stay up.
Campers.
I spot. And
Yeah, that's true. Knowing the map is the secret.
it really helps. Like I play Battlefield a lot, and knowing the map, knowing where the congestion is going to be, and how to avoid it at certain times. It
We'll
definitely
take
helps.
advantage of it.
All right, so last one. He says, another great episode, guys. This is from Vin Can. He says, for advice on Star Wars, use the Force, Ryan.
I try.
So turn off your targeting computer.
No. I don't use my mouse. That's the problem. I don't use my mouse or keyboard. I just sit there staring hard at the monitor.
That's You're supposed to close your eyes. Yeah.
I die a lot.
All right, so we got some giveaways. Last week, we did have, let me move some stuff in. We did have an RE to give away. The first RE we're giving away on the show is the Mark III, if you remember. We had like, oh man, what was it, almost 300 comments? The winning comment is number 88. And it's by Sparky Havoc. And he writes, woke up to a new episode and there's already about 100 comments. I love watching you guys and look forward to this. Are you going back to having a schedule yet? I love the hoodies, by the way. And no spoiling it for us. So far we've done pretty well.
I think we were good. We
Yeah.
just gave our opinions.
That's right. Next,
No spoil.
please see it, because I can't hold it in. And I don't want to spoil. So everybody see
Actually,
it.
I want
Force
people
Awakens discussion
to
group.
let us know when they think it's a good time to spoil something.
Yeah.
Because actually the internet has no problems in spoiling
I
things.
know, and we had to avoid it for like 2 days. You know how hard it was to do my job?
Yeah, I started reading comments, like YouTube comments. I was like, I saw someone was like just kind of playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, none of that.
That's right. I have to avoid the social media side of my work for the next 3 days, but yeah, we did it. We were not spoiled.
I was spoiled. Like just before we watched the movie,
This is funny.
I was looking at the Kotobukiya released the
They
new
just announced the
droids,
Kotobukiya release,
the
yeah.
droids from the new movie, and R2D2 has
C-3PO.
C-3PO, sorry, has a red arm,
That's right.
and I'm like, how did he lose it and everything? And then in the movie, and this isn't a huge spoiler, he just says, oh, I got a new arm.
Yeah,
like
he says,
no story.
you might not recognize me because of my new arm. That's it. There's no.
But did he lose his arm in the other movie? I don't remember that.
No.
I think they just had to make a new figure, so they were like, well, how can we sell more? We don't want people just to get the original art.
That's exactly what they think. What I think they did. Please watch the movie again, Ryan, because this isn't really a spoiler. But C-3PO comes in and says, "Oh, Han Solo, blah blah blah." He said, "You might not recognize me because of my red arm." And then he leaves and he mumbles to R2 like, "You're right, R2. I really need to get my arm back." And then watch at the very end when C-3PO was waving. Look at his arm.
Oh, spoiler.
At the very end, not the very end, but yeah, I don't know. Like that's something we'll probably never know, and they probably wanted, like you said, to differentiate Episode 7.
Maybe some
C-3PO
extended
from,
universe stuff.
who knows? And nobody cares enough about C-3PO.
Well, actually, they're
so-
doing Rogue Squadron, which is set.
Rogue One, yeah.
No, but that's not.
That's before Star Wars.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Will.
All right. See, let's stop spoiling stuff.
Congratulations.
Stop it. So congratulations to Sparky Havoc. I have 2 more kits to give away in this episode. Okay, so episode 192, we are giving away the Mega Shiki. I think I had Anna and Lindsay do this episode. So we've got it stuffed in here.
So was
with
this
all the
made by
parts.
Anna or Lindsay?
I think at the time, Anna did maybe Lindsay did the Mega Shiki and Anna did the extra thing.
So you guys can have something
there's some extra stuff
made
in
by
here.
Anna and Lindsay.
There you go. One of the crew. One of the ever-expanding crew.
Yes.
So HG Mega Shiki. And something big. The MG Giradoga. The green one. I love this kit. I remember at the Shizuoka Hobby Show when we saw it, and we saw this this in here.
It's going to be a good Christmas for somebody.
Bendy plastic that wraps around the frame. I think that's awesome. I really like this kit.
He'd be big.
I know, he's cool. He's very cool. So somebody's going to win that. I got most of the big shields and everything still in here. So Ryan, why don't you tell everybody how they can win the Mega Shiki or the Giradoga?
Please go to our blog, hobbylink.tv, and go to this episode, 192.
Yeah.
And leave a comment, and you have a very good chance of winning 2 awesome kits.
One of 2 awesome kits.
One of 2 awesome kits, sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a reminder to everyone.
Yeah.
Is it that time already? Or am I jumping the
Oh,
show?
you can go ahead.
No, we're brought to you by HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. Thank you very much for supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember, you can get hold of us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, everything.
Reddit.
Reddit.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. We do our best to try to get back to you.
Yep.
And I would just kind of like to say something, enjoy your Christmas holidays and your New Year's holidays. And I think we'll be back fresh again
That's
next
the thing we wanted to discuss. I kind of discussed with you.
Yes.
Christmas holidays and so on and so forth. In Japan, Christmas isn't an official holiday, and neither is Boxing Day.
So we'll be here.
So we will be here working on Saturday the 26th.
Yeah, so
And
think of
also
us.
at that time is the release date for the MG V2 Gundam.
Yes.
So I talked to Ryan, and if we can swing it, we're going to try and maybe do a live stream that day. We'll set up the computer. We'll try if we can get it working.
Yeah.
Which means that maybe some people, when they have the day off on Christmas, or maybe it's their Boxing Day or whatever, and they have some time, they can join us and they can watch us build the newest version Ka Masquerade Gundam.
That should be very exciting.
That's right. If not, then if we cannot make it, will work as a live stream. I'll definitely build it in front of the camera so you guys can watch it when you have time during your holidays.
Santa sit.
That's right, because if I leave it till we get back in January, of course everybody's so busy and they might not have time to watch a 2-hour video or whatever. So that's the plan.
That'll be cool.
Maybe a live stream or at least a live build. We'll let you know once we get everything organized. So stay tuned to our HobbyLink TV Facebook for info about that once we get that decided. So until then, thanks for watching. Enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you later.
Take it easy, guys. See you next year.
May the Force be with you.